Hi, in this video I'm going to explain about the quantum dot laser. Laser is nothing but it's an artificial light radiation, and this is the acronym of light amplification with stimulated emission of radiation. The special characteristics of lasers are highly directional, highly monochromatic and highly coherent. Highly directional means the light radiation which can travel through a longer distance without any disturbance. And what is this monochromatic? The light radiation traveling with a single wavelength. Coherent is nothing but the emitted photons. Photons are nothing but the particle present in the light radiation, and the emitted photons will be traveling the same phase and amplitude. That is what highly coherent. Because of these special characteristics, laser find wide application in the industrial as well as in the medical field. In industrial field, lasers are used for welding purpose, heating treatment, for alloying the materials to tear the huge machineries. Lasers are used, and some of the medical applications used in the treatment of cataract, and is used to remove the cancer cells and to remove the fatty acid deposition organ. Laser is used. These are some of the applications of laser in industrial as well as in the medical field. Principle behind the laser. The three important processes takes place in the laser is stimulated absorption, spontaneous emission and stimulated emission. A third important process what we need to produce laser is stimulated emission. See in the picture, the first A diagram, it explains stimulated absorption. When a material is subjected to a high beam of light radiation, for example, xenon or krypton flash lamp, the atoms absorb the energy and are excited to the higher energy state, and this is said as stimulated absorption. With the help of some high intense beam of light radiation, we are making the atoms to excite to the excited state. This is said as stimulated absorption. And spontaneous emission is nothing but the excited atoms does not stay back for a longer time, return to the ground state without any force. During this transition, emit a photon, and this emitted photon it travel in the different direction. This is what spontaneous emission. These two processes, A and B process, takes place in other conventional light sources. To achieve more intense beam of light radiation, the third important process what we need is stimulated emission. Stimulated emission is nothing but the emitted photon during the spontaneous emission triggers one more atom in the excited state. During this transition, two photons are emitted, and these two photons trigger two more photons, and during that transition it emits four more photons. This process is continuous, and all these emitted photons during this emission travels with the same phase and amplitude. This is what stimulated emission. When we will achieve the stimulated emission condition, when more number of atoms are found in the excited state, but in general we have more number of atoms in the ground state than in the excited state. To achieve the stimulated emission condition, we need more number of atoms in the excited state. For that we need some source. That source is said as the pumping source. Using some source, we are making more number of atoms or excited to the excited state. Then only the stimulated emission condition will be achieved. Production of laser. To produce laser, we need three important things. One is active medium, the second is pumping source, and the third is optical resonator. What is this active medium? The medium in which the transition of atoms takes place. That is what active medium. The medium in which the atoms are excited to the higher energy state. For example, the laser is produced out of a ruby rod. Then the material ruby rod acts as the active medium. And pumping source, the source which need to achieve population inversion condition. Already explained, population inversion is nothing but more number of atoms are found in the excited state than in the ground state. Then after achieving this population inversion condition, we get the stimulated emission. So to achieve that condition, we need a source, that is said as a pumping source. If it is a solid state laser, the high light radiation, like xenon flash lamp or krypton flash lamp, that acts as the pumping source. And next, third, what we need is optical resonator. Optical resonator, why we need this? To strengthen the emitted photons. Optical resonators are nothing but the reflecting mirrors. One is 100% reflecting surface, other mirror it is 50% reflecting. These reflecting mirrors acts as the optical resonator. In the case of a normal solid state material, if it is a semiconductor diode laser, the highly polished junction between p-type and n-type, that acts as the optical resonator. So by getting the three important things, active medium, pumping source and optical resonator, we can produce a laser. Let us discuss about the semiconductor diode laser. Only by understanding the principal construction working of the semiconducting diode laser, we can understand the principal construction working of a quantum dot laser. See, the principle is nothing but the diode when it is under the forward biasing. Forward biasing is nothing but when P region of the diode connected with the positive terminal, N region of the diode when it is connected with the negative terminal. Here the positive, the majority charge carries in P type or holes that all move away from the terminal and move towards the junction. Here the majority charge carries the N type, it is electrons, and that electrons move near the junction. So this is said as the diode is under forward biasing, the charges are moved. So here the principle is the diode is under the forward biasing condition. Here to produce laser we need three important things. One is active medium. The diode acts as an active medium. Gallium arsenide, when it becomes a p-type material, when this gallium arsenide doped with a trivalent impurity atom, then it becomes a p-type material. When gallium arsenide, when this is doped with a pentavalent impurity atom, it becomes an n-type material. When Pn, it forms a diode, and it is there will be a junction between this p-type and n-type material. So this is what the active medium. And second, what we need is pumping source. On the top surface of the p-type material is connected with a metal contact. Through the metal contact, it is connected with electrical supply. Bottom surface end region, it is connected with a metal contact. Through the metal contact, is connected to a battery. So this is said as the pumping source of the material. And third, we need the optical resonator. Here the highly polished junction between the p-type and n-type, highly polished with the silver, acts as the optical resonator. This is what the construction of the semiconductor diode laser. Coming to the working, when the diode is under the forward biasing condition, under this forward biasing condition, the majority charge carriers holes in the p-type, majority charge carriers n-type, move towards the junction, and in the junction the electrons holes recombines. During this recombination, it emits a photon, and these emitted photons will travel in the same phase and amplitude. That is nothing but laser. So this is what the principal construction working of diode laser. Only by understanding this we can understand about the quantum dot laser. Here quantum dot lasers are nothing but it is a new generation semiconductor laser, and here the active layer is nothing but quantum dots. It is made up of indium arsenide. Quantum dots are found in the junction of the material, and here the quantum dots, it acts as the active layer. The recombination of the electron holes takes place in the quantum dot, and the light radiation is emitted only from these quantum dots. See, this is what the construction of quantum dot laser. The same as the homojunction diode laser, p-type material and n-type material is grown on a substrate. Substrate is nothing but it's flat material. It is made up of a same gallium arsenide material. Here the P and N region, it acts as a diode, and the metal contact at the top and bottom surface is connected to the electrical terminal, acts as the pumping source. Highly polished junction acts as the optical resonator. And one more difference from the normal diode laser, in the case of quantum dot laser, the junction, it is filled with the quantum dots, which is made up of indium arsenide material. So quantum dots are nothing but nanomaterials. The junction, we can see a number of quantum dots. And so under the forward biasing condition of the diode, majority charge carriers move towards the junction. So in the junction already it is placed with the quantum dots. The recombination of electrons and holes takes place and emits the photons, and these emitted photons will be traveling in the same phase and amplitude. Here the special feature in the quantum dot laser is we can adjust the wavelength of the emitted photons by adjusting the size of the quantum dot. This is what the special feature of this quantum dot laser. Advantages and disadvantages of quantum dot laser is high temperature stability, tunable wavelength emission. That's what I said. By adjusting the size of the quantum dot, we can adjust the emitted wavelength, and a high modulation frequency. Fabrication process is complicated. Low optical confinement. Applications of quantum dot lasers. It is used in the fiber optic communication, used as barcode readers, used in printing industry, heat treatment, and pumping other sources. These are the applications of quantum dot laser. Thank you for watching.